Now switching to WDCD Media. Along with that, I'm a partner with the Elite Collective. I help with production management and audio in a lot of cases. Really thought I'd come on tonight while relaxing after a nice workout and all the rest of the stuff that comes with long weeks, and then you get into relaxed mode is what's going to happen with our events going into the fall. A lot of galas are coming up, a lot of just special events that we're all going to be part of, and how do we maximize it? Because we are now in a world where people can literally live stream on YouTube, which I'm on one of those formats right now. I'm on LinkedIn right now, and I'm on YouTube, and make a fortune doing that aren't part of corporations. And then we also got corporations and nonprofit entities that are trying to do fundraisers. Some of the galas are going to be fundraisers. And how do we maximize the potential, especially when you're going to have a guest list that may not all be able to make it or could be expanded? Say, for example, the facility you're in right now only can handle 200 or 300 people. Does happen, sometimes 500 people. How do we expand that out and do a private session for those who would love to be part of the organization, would love to be part of the event, especially some of the fundraising events we got coming up, but for one reason or another can't be there, prefer because of the upcoming new strand of COVID that's out there now. As we all know, we do have to deal with that. And what would be a way to maximize the potential for them to be in the organization, participate in the event. And that's where I think live streaming, AV is really going to be changing things. And the other part of it is the game has had to step up, and the expression is the game, but the way that we do things now in live streaming has changed because it's no longer just a live stream. It's a full event that matches what used to be considered high-end production only in these events. I'll give you a couple examples. We would have all of your microphones you need, the front end where you would have speakers, sound reinforcement, mic'd up bands, special commentators who are on the side, ASL, cart, the whole works is now part of these productions. And then we're going to live stream it. It used to be live to tape so that we'd make a brand new short video of it, but now we can really take components and pieces out of it and turn those into individual sessions in a sense as to what happened, or even what's miraculous. We did this earlier this year. I can't tell you the client, but we were doing not only the gala portion or the big presentation portion. Once that was done, there were breakout sessions in Zoom at the same time. And this is where things got kind of amazing. We had multiple Zoom sessions, breakout rooms. We were running those too, and live streaming those at exactly the same time as we were live streaming the major presentation. So allowing for breakout rooms and still keeping a presentation going is exceptional. Now, a lot of people think, well, that's pretty common. It is if you're just coming off of a laptop. But what we were doing was we had in-room audio, sound reinforcement. We had presenters. We had people who were doing questions, and we had multiple cameras in the same room, so we're switching from one camera to another camera. So as if someone's asking a question in the audience, you could definitely see who that person was and get a feel for being in the room as if you were actually there. And at the same time, the presenter, you could hear them, understand what they're saying. They get to move their hands around like using one of these microphones like this, and they're not having to hold a mic to talk into it, and they give you that same strong presentation that you would find at a much higher end, gala that maybe $100,000, $200,000 in production to $500,000 in production. We're doing it for a little bit less, but at the same time, we're producing a high level. The other part of it is because we're streaming with professional equipment nowadays, which is miraculous. Thank you, Black Magic Design. That is just, you've opened up the world for SDI, for ISO recording, for high-end audio. It's just changed what we can do. 5 years ago, we wouldn't even think about doing some of the productions we're doing right now. Putting in the Black Magic Studios and having the SDI connection, allowing us to have our switcher, our video op somewhere near 200 feet away, or if you're in a nice building like the STG buildings and they're already pre-wired for SDI, we can literally just plug and play and set cameras in 6 or 7 different locations inside the facility and get phenomenal video from anywhere. And on top of that, they've already got cameras there too. So they've got I think it's a red, not a red. It's my brain is just drawing a blank. I want to tell you the camera. It's a super Z cam. They've got a Z cam there. Beautiful set. It's a wide. It's a great angle. Has a beautiful, beautiful image, and it's amazing that we can connect into that with our switcher and then do whatever we need to do and make it come across great. I hope it's not too loud, but I'm by the bar. I am using there's an ME3 from the Sennheiser. Doesn't look like it's too loud, but it's going to get in a little bit of noise here. Sorry about that. Can't help it. I just happened to be out, and this came to mind. I just want to talk to everybody. I know, not 100% professional, but let's just go with it. What I'm saying is there's a lot of opportunity. Now, on YouTube, I asked how this could be profitable. For most businesses coming in, this could be really, really, really profitable. I'm going to do a transition change here. Hold on. It could be extremely profitable. You could do a pay-per-view style setup, which could fund doing the show. So a couple of different options you could do. Excuse me as I pull this up. This is one of the services I am investigating for a couple of clients, and it might be something you want to add to your, well, you'll see. So let me go over here. Let me add this in here real quick. Sure. I'm gonna, here you go. So this is Stream Everywhere, Lightcast. This is a service that you could add in and possibly make yourself a little bit of financial revenue to continue the productions moving forward. It's up to you. I mean, I'm not saying you have to jump into something of this accord, which is basically streaming. You can publish all your videos, live events. You can put it on any device out there. Works with all these different companies, and I'm not advocating this, and they're not actually paying me anything to show this off. But it's just a hosting service alongside of anything else you may happen to have out there, and you could possibly have, just an easy peasy way of adding some revenue to an event. And how you could do it is you could set up a Patreon, you can set up whatever it is you want. There's live casting services. You could have a password locked out YouTube. You could have a special invite, a private invite. There's a lot of different ways you could monetize this. And I'm not saying you have to, but there's some people out there who have asked over the last year, how do we, get the extra little bit of revenue so we can continue this moving forward, especially because we're a small organization and we want to get our message out. So this is one way you could do it. And it could also be your donation. So someone could, technically donate. The money they're doing right here will be the donation for, the auction they got coming up. These are just some ideas. The other part I'd like to talk about tonight is how do you step forward when it comes to live streaming and your AV and all your events? How do you make that different for 23 and 24 at the end of the year? And a big thing you can do, in my opinion, you don't have to do any of this stuff, really. I mean, we've had fun doing it, and we'll continue to have fun doing it. But I think some of the big, strong areas where we could really, really step it up and give everybody a real strong opportunity to have an amazing, and I do mean amazing, presentation that is there, virtually, and reusable, is doing the combination of an ISO stream record. One of the best pieces of service you can do is that, because then you can chop and make a new video out of it later. Secondarily, you can let people know they're going to have multiples going on. And how does that work for 23 and 24? So say, for example, you've got a gala that's going to happen. But in 3 months, you plan on having a small live stream or a get together, and you would like to put a little bit of flavor on it, and then maybe live stream it. You could do that, and if you let your I usually go clients, but if you have an audience, if you let your audience know that you're going to have a live stream every 2 to 3 months, you're going to have people who are especially looking at what you do as a nonprofit organization or a for-profit organization that want to see what you're doing, especially if you have a niche group area, because then people are very, very interested. You'll have a captive audience at all times, because the more often you're on social media, the more often you are presenting yourself out in front of an audience, the more often you'll get the opportunity to show them that you're the leader, you're the expert, you're the one that's number one in this industry. And that could just be the number one industry is that I'm helping people get an education. And we're helping out people get small businesses. We're helping people get to the best medical in the state of Washington, California, Oregon, or any other place that is. We are the best at showing you how to use IT, any of those. And having the ability to show it over and over again from different perspectives is just going to be killer. You're going to do great. This is just thoughts. I don't normally go live for myself because essentially this isn't what I do. I'm on the other side of the camera. I'm normally micing people up and making sure the audio sounds good, and then on top of that, do some production work. Sometimes I'm doing a full live stream. This isn't my normal cup of tea, so I don't feel as smooth on this. I'm on a set. I feel smooth and comfortable with this. I'm like, ugh. So please excuse me if it's not like the smoothest or the best description of it. But I really just want people to have a successful, strong, powerful end of 23 and beginning of 24, because this is when we're at that big season. Your galas, everything else. We have special audiences. I think it's time that we make going out of COVID and having the new hybrids as the new normal, the new standard. And maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But let's give it a shot and find out. Well, anyway, I'm going to call this the end of this stream. I mean, it's been an absolute pleasure to be here talking to you. It's A.P.C. Photography and WDCD Media. Bye.